up here. And also there should be some candles, other than the candles that are lit now. There's some candles at your table that we'll probably be using later in the show. So I just wanted to remember that where they're at. Okay, this is the remember that where they're at. Okay, this is the entertainment portion of your 45th reunion, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Deers, and I'll be your host tonight. If anything goes wrong with the entertainment, we blame it on Deers. You know, is there any Dukes of Hazzard fans out here? Remember that skinny blonde that played the movie Dukes of Hazzard? Yeah. She's appearing in Chicago tonight, Jessica Simpson. But I'll tell you what, folks, the real entertainment is right up here on this stage tonight. You're in for quite a treat. Now, if you noticed in the letter that was sent out to repeat early in the year, Family Rocker Reunion, there's a portion on there that had you list 3 of your favorite songs and our artists, our high school days. Now, what we have done, we have taken some names from that list, and we've added a couple more modern ones, so we give you a variety show, and we hope you enjoy it. Now, the format is we're going to give 3 or 4 entertainers the first act. We're going to take a short break and then come back and finish with 3 or 4 more. So, be prepared for some good entertainment. Now, I know a lot of you have probably been to concerts, live concerts. I know we went to see Cher last year down in Springfield. She's on a farewell tour. Some call it Forever Tour because she was on there for about a year. But anyway, they had a comedian come out before the show, which a lot of times they do. The comedian is supposed to warm up the crowd, wake you up, and get you ready for the entertainment. So we're going to start our show tonight with a comedian. Now this comedian got his start on cruise ships. So for all you people that take a lot of cruises, you may have seen him before. But he talks with some of the southern drawl. So you have to listen real close so you don't miss any of his punchlines. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Cliff.
Hey, thank you, Jeff. How y'all doing tonight? I tell you what, folks, I've had a rough day. I got up this morning, put on a shirt, and the button fell off. I picked up my briefcase and the handle fell off. I tell you what, I'm scared to go to the bathroom. I tell you, I am sure happy to be here. In fact, I'm happy to be anywhere tonight. I almost got killed this morning. I went horseback riding, that sucker bucked me off. I got my foot hung in a stirrup. It was flipping me around like that. I'd have probably been killed if the Kmart manager hadn't run out and unplugged it. It was a quarter horse, you see. I tell you, it's awful what I gotta go through. You know, before I come up here on this stage, I went in a bar in there, and I noticed all them slot machines lined up against the wall. Remind me of Las Vegas. How many of you folks ever been to Vegas? Well, I tell you, before I met my lovely wife, Judy, I was married before, and I took my wife to Vegas. She had never been there before, and I was telling her how open the town is. I said, every newspaper you pick up says something like, put something on your arm beside your pillow tonight. She said, what's that mean? I said, that means I can call down to the front desk in about 10 minutes. He'll be a gorgeous blonde up here at my door. She said, no. I said, I'll prove it to you. Get in the bathroom. She got in there. I called down to the front desk about 10 minutes. Here's this gorgeous blonde. I said, how much for the evening? She said $200, which I thought was cheap. But I said, no, 25 is all I'd go. So she left. Next morning, me and my wife goes down to breakfast and run into this lady the evening. She looks over and says, see what you get for $25? I tell you what, it made her mad. She wouldn't go back no more. I tell you, it's awful what I got to go through. While I was out there in Vegas, I saw this girl had a sweatshirt on. It said guest across the front. I said, implants? I tell you, But I had fun going out to Vegas. You know, when I went out there, I drove out. I went out in luxury. I drove out there in a $50,000 Cadillac. I come back in a $200,000 Greyhound. I tell you, they picked me like a chicken. I tell you, it's awful what I got to go through. But you know, when I got back to Lincoln, then I ended up getting a divorce. Let me tell you why I got a divorce. I come home one night about half drunk. My wife was waiting up for me. She said, "What the heck are you doing coming in here about half drunk?" I said, "I run out of money." She said, "Well, what'd you do with that $100 you had?" I said, "I bought something for the house." She said, "Oh, good. What'd you buy?" I said, "A round of drinks." She said, "Your drinking's going to be the death of me." I said, "Give me a double." But you know, if you'd have knew my wife, you'd have knew she had no reason to complain about my drinking. That gal had so many clothes in her closet, in fact, she's afraid I'm going to go steal them. I come home one night and she had some guy in the closet guarding them. I said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Everybody got to be somewhere." I tell you, it's awful what I got to go through. Well, anyway, I went to the doctor the other day and I said, "Doc, what is my problem?" He checked me over and he said, "You got a locked valve." I said, "But Doc, I got diarrhea." He said, "Well, it's locked wide open." I tell you, it's awful what I got to go through. I tell you, you folks are here celebrating your 45th class reunion. Congratulations to that. But I tell you, do you ever go back and look at your old pictures, like your grade school pictures? I tell you, I was looking at mine the other day, the first and second grade. I tell you, that is a scary thought. I tell you, I was such an ugly kid. When I played in the sandbox, the cat kept covering me up. I tell you, I was so ugly that my father carried around a picture of the kid that came in with his wallet. When I was born, the doctor came into the room and told my father, said, "I'm sorry. We did everything we could, but he pulled through." I tell you, it's awful what I got to go through. I was so ugly, I tell you, my mother had morning sickness after I was born. I tell you, that's funny right there. Anyway, I tell you, I remember when I was kidnapped. The kidnapper sent my father the tip of my finger. He told him he wanted more proof. It's awful what I got to go through. You know, one year they wanted to use me as poster boy for birth control. But I tell you, my uncle's dying wish was that I sat on his lap. He was in the electric chair. I tell you, it's awful what I got to go through. I tell you, I went to the doctor the other day and I told him, I said, "Doc, I'm having trouble sleeping." And I took a whole bottle of sleeping pills. He told me, "Go home, have a few drinks, and get some rest." I tell you, it's terrible what I got to go through. Anyway, my lovely wife, Judy, she made me join a bridge club. I jump off next Tuesday. I tell you, you know, in 5 more years, you folks will be celebrating your 50th. And I understand you're already planning that. But you realize when you celebrate your 50, one of the first things that goes is your mind. I saw this couple the other day that just celebrated theirs, and they had a couple over for dinner. And after dinner, the women went into the kitchen, was cleaning up. And the gentlemen were sitting around the table having a drink. And one of them turned to the other one and said, "Frank, I tell you, me and my wife ate out at this restaurant the other night. And I'm telling you, it was fantastic. I'd highly recommend it to all my friends." Frank said, "What was the name of that restaurant?" He thought and he thought and he thought and he said, "What's the name of that flower you might buy someone you love? It's red and has thorns on it." He said, "A rose?" He said, "Yeah, hey Rose, what was the name of that restaurant we ate at?" I tell you, it's going to happen. Folks, most people that know me think I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. I tell you, but I've really been depressed. I found out last week I'm a lesbian. Yeah, I stopped in this bar and I sat down with this real good-looking gal and offered to buy her a drink. She said, well, I'll take the drink, but it won't do you any good. I'm a lesbian. Me being myself and all, I didn't know what the heck that meant. I said, what's a lesbian? She said, see that good-looking gal sitting across from us? I said, oh, yeah. She said, well, I'd love to go over there and undress her and kiss her all over her body. I said, heck, I'm one of them too. I just didn't know it. Thank you, and you have a great evening.
Cliff Perkins. Cliff, you know there's a lot in the news today about these days about gay marriages. What do you think about them?
Well, Jeff, I really don't have a problem with it myself. I feel that the gay community should have the right to be as miserable as the rest of us. Thank you very much.
Cliff Perkins, ladies and gentlemen. Cliff Perkins. Good job. You know, folks, a lot of entertainers have been killed in plane crashes over the years, mostly singers. Buddy Holly, Ricky Nelson, John Denver, and just a couple of years ago, a young lady just starting out in the career, Shantae, I believe her name was. Well, our first guest tonight was a DJ and a songwriter back in Texas, back in the mid-50s, waiting for his break into show business. Well, he finally got his break, and he wrote 2 hit songs. Just as he was starting to get his career going, he was killed in a plane crash. In fact, he was with Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, in 1959. His name was J.P. Richardson, but you probably don't know him by that name. But I know you're going to know him by the name Big Popper.
Hello, baby. Yes, this is the Big Popper speaking. You sweet thing. You are what? Well, I what? Oh, baby, you know what I like. Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down, a wiggle and a walk and a giggle and a talk makes the world go round. There ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl that make me act so funny, make me spend my money, make me feel real good, like a long neck goose, like a girl. Oh, baby, that's what I like. What's that?